Silk Road was a network of trade routes connecting China and the Far East with the Middle East and Europe. It was over 4,000 miles long. Established when the Han Dynasty in China, which is the Golden Age of China, officially opened trade with the West in 130 BC. The Silk Road has been used for international trade. The routes had a lasting impact on commerce, culture, and history that resonates even today. Silk was the major trade product which traveled on this road. The Silk Road opened up by Zhang Qian in the Western Han Dynasty. He was a Chinese imperial envoy. Some of the world's most acclaimed explorers such as Alexander the Great, Marco Polo, and Ibn Battuta. People carried silk to Siberia through the Gansu corridor over the northern branch of the Silk Road. Silk was found in a tomb in Egypt that dates to about 1070 BC that suggests that even at this early time, silk was traded across Eurasia. Civilizations active in the Silk Road trade included ancient Greece, Persia, Uazi, and the Qin state that controlled the eastern part of the Hexi corridor. This corridor is a huge, very long valley that extends from Luoyang to Xinjiang. To reach Western Asia and Europe, products were transported through the Sogdian territories west of Xinjiang in modern-day Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, and from the 2nd century BC until the 10th century, the Sogdians dominated the Silk Road trade. They were the Silk Road's most prominent merchants and middlemen for more than 1,000 years. They established a trading network across 1,500 miles from Sogdia to the Chinese empires. The common lingua franca of the trade route was Sogdian. Many Sogdian documents were discovered in Turpan. After the Han Empire fell in the year 220, from 220 to 581, the region was divided into 3 big warring states. At the same time during the 200s, barbarian attacks on the Roman Empire increased, and this further stymied trade with Europe. During the 200s also, the Huns attacked states west of the Roman Empire, and this warfare decreased trading in Central Asia. About 400 AD, the Roman Empire collapsed. For these and other reasons, there was a decrease of trading through the Gansu corridor to the west until the Tang Empire. The conquest of the Byzantium Empire and the Ottoman control of Western Asia kept Europe and the empires of the Ming and Qing separated from the west, and overland travel became dangerous. By the end of the 14th century, trade and travel along the route had decreased significantly. In the 1400s, the Ming court policy shifted to isolationism. They stopped Silk Road trade. Also, there was less of a demand for silk and porcelain in the West because they produced their own. In the 1100s, Italians began producing silk and textiles, and by the 1400s, Lyon was a major silk textile production center for the European market. By the 1700s, Europeans also produced porcelain and partly satisfied internal demand. After this, some of the Central Asian Silk Road routes, especially those in high mountain areas in Tajikistan, Afghanistan, China, Pakistan, and India continued to be used until the beginning of the 20th century. Chinese exported teas, salt, sugar, porcelain, and spices. Most of what was traded was expensive luxury goods. This was because it was a long trip and merchants didn't have a lot of room for goods. They imported, or bought, goods like cotton, ivory, wool, gold, and silver. Kinds of products exported from China during the at least 3,000-year history of the Silk Road changed over time, but silk was generally the most precious export. Bronze ornaments and other products from this metal such as ornate bronze mirrors were exported, as was lacquerware. Paper was invented during the Han Dynasty era and was also appreciated in the West. Merchants also carried tea and rice. The various empires always had a need for horses. Local breeds were considered too small, and they wanted better horses to use in battles against nomads and enemy cavalry. This is actually what spurred the Han court to begin regular Silk Road trade in the 2nd century BC. Sheep were largely unknown in the Eastern empires. Woolen goods, carpets, curtains, blankets, and rugs came to China from Central Asia and the Eastern Mediterranean. These products impressed them because they were unfamiliar with the methods of wool processing, carpet manufacture, and weaving. Parthian tapestries and carpets were highly appreciated in the ancient empires. Central Asian countries exported camels, which were appreciated in the Han and Tang empires. They also sent military equipment, gold, and silver, and semi-precious stones. First the Romans and then Samarkand made glasswares that were especially valued due to their high quality and transparency. Glassware was novel. It was considered to be a luxury good. Other imports were animal skins, cotton fabrics, gold embroidery, and sheep. In the area of religion and philosophy, the Chinese were net importers. None of the religions and philosophies of China, such as Taoism and Confucianism, gained much of a following in Western countries, but the religions of Buddhism and to a lesser extent Islam and Christianity all gained followings in the Eastern empires.